I feel in the face of all the problems in the world impotent, and why I somehow cannot manage to transform I. Now here we get to the real problem, because we're always telling each other that we should be different. Now I'm not going to tell you that tonight. Why not? Because I know you can't. Nor can I. That may sound depressing, but I'll show you it isn't. It's very hard. But everybody, you see, who is at all sensitive and awake to their own problems and human problems is trying to change himself. We know we can't change the world unless we change ourselves. So when we are aware of the ego I, we are aware of this chronic tension inside ourselves. And that's not us. It's a futile tension. So when we get the illusion, the image of ourselves, married to a futile tension, you've got an illusion married to a futility. And then you wonder why I can't do anything.
The most important part of any trading session, a bowl of oats. Always have your oats before you start trading. Brand doesn't matter. It's a little bit of Ceylon cinnamon and brown sugar, and it'll be set for the rest of the day. Lovely. Okay. I need to mix that more. So today, we really need to talk about Bitcoin. And honestly, not many aspects of our current scenario have really changed since yesterday's analysis. But I will repeat myself because it is important you stay up to date with the changes that have happened. So, with that in mind, let's get recording. Okay, so our first and most important pivot is the weekly 50 moving average, which is going to act as our rejection point for trend. Right? If we look at previous crash pattern right here, we do have the descending weekly 50 moving average, which did end up smacking down price. 3 candles tested it in 2015. I would not be surprised if we did the same over here. And honestly, we actually stopped a little bit shy of that weekly 50 moving average. That's fine, but it means I didn't really get my short entry, or at least I didn't enhance my short entry, right? Because I have been in a very loose short leveraged futures contract, and I was hoping to load up on more of that short when we actually hit those values. But alas, no such luck. So, what we want to wait for now is the mean reversion pivot on the 4-hour to be crossed. So, if we pop down here, and we take a look at the longest overexpanded period, which is currently 350. Let me just double check that. It's actually 300. So we're gonna plug in 300 right here. Okay. This is our current mean reversion pivot. If we re-enter this band, it will imply our mean reversion to this mean. Okay, 4,200. Okay, anyone who's predicting retracement values below 4,800 is full of crap, right? Because if that mean reversion pivot is crossed, we will have a full reversion to the relative mean. We will either stay above this pivot and continue trend, or enter the pivot and go to the mean. Those are really the only 2 options. Okay. Actually, there's option 3, which is pretty unflattering, but I should go over it anyway, because it's still possible. We can actually still expect just a completely lateral move, where Bitcoin just does nothing but goes sideways, where on our weekly chart, I'll just drew that in because why not? Right, we have the smackdown of the weekly 50 moving average coming down. Price is just going to go sideways. The mean reversion pivot's going to come up like so, okay? And then we're actually going to be sandwiched between these 2 pivots. And that's what the whole squish bit is about, where we expect, excuse me, that was a bit too big of a bite of oatmeal. It's good though. Eat oats. Where we will trade laterally in between these 2 pivots. So we'll run down and test, we'll run up and test, we'll run down and test, we'll run up and test, and then, well then the break is going to decide. We're either going to get trend continuation above the weekly 50. And at that point, I will be stopping out of my shorts and attempting to find a new, better short entry. Or, if we re-enter this pivot down below, that'll be short confirmation. Right, and that short confirmation is really our best bet, our best scenario. Because if we re-enter that band, we will actually see the full reversion down to the 4-hour 300 moving average. And well, if you're thinking, all right, let's just draw a horizontal support line at 4,200, right? It's not technically a support line. We're just using the current location of the 300 moving average. Okay, if we actually look like, say, on the weekly chart, okay, and let's switch this back to our 200 value, because this is pretty attractive here. Okay. If at our current price, we cross a pivot where our target becomes 3,200 down here, or 4,200, excuse me. Right, if we cross a mean reversion pivot, that implies we retrace to this value. Why would we not also imply we fully retrace to the weekly 200? Right, it wouldn't make sense for us to stop here, right, because of the cyclical nature of the previous crash pattern, where we have run-ups, run-downs, run-ups, run-downs, but each time we have a lower low and a higher high, or a higher low and a higher high, excuse me, right? So if we actually do cross that downward mean reversion pivot, we could go ahead and bet with quite some confidence that will eventually run down and touch the weekly 200 moving average. That's really our best bet. Like, not even just as a euphemism to say, wow, that's our best bet. It's like, that is the best thing you could bet on. Literally. Like, it's the best thing you could put your money on the roulette table, is this event. So, what else do I need to talk about? That's really all that's special about Bitcoin today, if I'm being honest. Nothing too exciting on the 15-minute chart. Hold on. Actually, we do have an upward mean reversion pivot because of the downward expansion. We can actually identify when we should start expecting new downward expansion. Now, let's try the 1-hour chart, yeah? See if we can get a contained piece of mass here. Okay, so you see this move down here? That generated its own mass, so it has its own mean reversion pivot. And if it's an upward mean reversion pivot, then, well, it is inherently an upward mean reversion pivot, but whether or not it's yet been crossed is going to be our calling card. That's the wrong phrase. I don't know what to call this. Let's put in the 60 period, right? Was it the 60? It's the 70, excuse me. 1 second. Okay, yeah, we are currently having a mean reversion as defined by the 70 period. So, if we look nice and close up here, down here on the 1-hour chart, it's kind of cool because we have this volatility overhead and the downward expansion couldn't cause the re-expansion of our longer periods. So, what we have is this mean reversion pivot being crossed, and now we will revert exactly to the 1-hour 70 moving average before trend continuation. So, this band here is going to compress around price like so. Nice and tight like. Price will eventually go up to the mean. It can either do so like that, or it can bounce along here and eventually test. And then once the 70 period goes below the 0.7 value, which is represented as green on the 3D wave PM for this 70 period right here, right? Once that actually triggers, then we'll be able to reliably bet trend continuation is possible. Come. Those are some high quality oats. Bit dry though, I didn't use enough water. Okay. That's all I have to say about Bitcoin today, guys. It's been fun trading you folks. I'll see you later. A nice. That's what Borat says. How many viewers we got today? 20 viewers. That's pretty good. We gotta double that number. Those are rookie numbers. I bet people saw my oats and just immediately changed the channel, which definitely would happen. Okay. I don't know why I have this saved as my chart template. I don't want to look at EOS like ever. Strat. I mean, dude, concerning Strat, because it's a macro level play on the daily, I can't look at it every day because the conditions aren't really changing at all, are they? Come to think of it, I should actually save my notes more often. Also, get your coin questions in, guys. I would love to look at any altcoins that you want me to look at. So now's the time to drop what you like. My spoon is unironically too big. That's very inconvenient to eat out of. Yeah, so with strap, we have the signal, we just need to wait. Like, stop losses are wicking down. Check the 15 minutes, see what that's like. Oh, wow. Yeah, those aren't wicked at all. Those are legitimate downward moves. Let me check if it's hit the stop yet. Well, actually, I'm not going to show the idea yet because it's still a strong trade, but I'm pretty sure it's still above stop loss, and I'm still in it, so I would be careful on this chart. Just as soon as we actually see downward net expansion on the lower time frames, sure, we'll stop out. But right now, it's good. I'm okay with this. Hup. So let's take a look at E and J. Oh, Ethereum first, shall we? We'll look at the Bitcoin pairing because everybody already knows what the USD pairing looks like. Man, this is the most neutral chart. Like, I know it's a bullish break on Ethereum USD pair, but on the actual Bitcoin pairing, it does not inspire confidence at all. I am actually more inclined to consider this a bearish chart than a bullish chart. Yeah. We just have that really weird compressing range, and it's not comfortable at all. There's a downward wave PM cross on the daily. A macro level. This is so weird, guys. It is so weird. Let me show you. Nah. Okay. This is bizarre. Okay, we have downward weighted CCI periods with a wave PM cross implying downward net expansion, right? But if we look on the ETHUSD pair, we have a bullishly weighted wave PM cross with upward expansion. It's a mess. It's such a mess. Like, long-term, Ethereum is bullish. No doubt about it. It's just finding the exact bottom, and I am trying to do that. So, I didn't realize my mustache hair was so curly. My God. Ugh. Gotta condition that. E and J. Like, yeah, I want to imply a parabolic move, but we're just waiting for that full retracement. Okay. Are we getting a downward mean reversion pivot on the USD pair? I think we are. Hold on. Yeah, okay. So we want to look at the 260. It's currently set to 200, so it's not crossed yet. Okay. When we ran on the 200 band, then we'll actually be able to take a short entry on the USD and Bitcoin there. That's going to be really nice. I might short Ethereum soon. Short term, long term, I would like to accumulate. Up. E and J. How's everyone doing today, guys? Tell me how you are. It's so cloudy out, and I'm pretty sure the trails are all mud, so I'm not going to go mountain biking today. Okay, I guess we're just going to try to define retracement values here. This is called catching of a knife. Catching a falling knife, right? So in this instance, we're looking at the 250. Oh my God. It's going to be right at the pivot, isn't it? God damn it. That's uncomfortable. If it would bounce here. Yeah, it's either going to bounce here or not at all. That's the way I'm saying this. And I'm not liking the volume. Sorry. Sure, it should technically go up here, but if it does go down, it's going to go down hard. So it's a pivot, that's for sure. It's just whether or not you want to risk it because it's so volatile. SPX. Jesus, what a weird habit. I type in BTC after everything. Load, my boy. Okay. 140. Let's check it out. Is that correct? Let's go to the weekly. Right, because I want to... Cat, is it above the containment zone? Because that's the reading I'm getting. It is 140, and we are above it. It's not ideal. Hold on. Did it already evaporate? That'd be a trip. Yeah, look at that. What a nuisance. So we use that as a pivot to define rejection, and then as soon as it meets it, it expands. What a nuisance. Yeah, right, because our longest ever expanded period, like on the candle it moves above, it's the 120 that the volatility overhead ends at, and then it expands beyond the 120. So that pivot didn't hold at all because it already evaporated. That's a nuisance, I'd say. I don't know. I want to hear more of your thoughts on it, Kat, because now the pivot's not really going to hold, in my opinion. Maybe we can do something on the 4 hour. Wow, look at that wave PM cross. You could have predicted the crash right here. That is such a clean candle. Hold on. Let's just point this out. Okay. Yeah. So, this is so cool. Okay, let's just hide the bands for a second. Okay, if you're just looking at price action, would you be able to tell the difference between this move, this move, this move, this move, and this move? They're all identical. They're all drawdowns in an uptrend, right? They're not. It's not really tradable information, right? If you see these, you want to buy the dip, 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 and then this one screws you, right? So, with mass readings, something cool happens. It has to do with wave PM. With wave PM, you have noise and not noise. This is noise, noise, noise. But then, a rare condition occurs. Everything went below the 0.4 value. Then, you notice how the 50, the 100, and the 14 all start expanding in the same direction? All at the same time, all from below this value? That implies a sustainable trend. Lo and behold, when everything goes to a state of compression, the downward net expansion has the required force to move something of low mass. It's Mickey Mantle hitting a home run because the baseball weighs what it's supposed to weigh. Right? All this over here, these are bowling balls. You can't hit those. But when the conditions align, you can get some very interesting scenarios. I'm going to scroll back and see if we can find another area where this happens. Just using the wave PM, because why not? Wow, that really is a rare signal. Here, found it. That right there resulted in significant trend. So we had this huge choppy compressing lateral range like so. Then on, let's see, this candle right here, before it's even had a chance to break out of the range, right? This is before the breakout even happens. We know sustainable trending is about to happen, and we know the direction because of the quad CCI. Like that would have been an insane position. Is that 2012? My God. Oh, we're on the 4-hour chart. I can't read. Oh, no, that is 2012. Okay. Jesus. Okay, well, as you can see, it's a rare signal, but you can use it on lower time frames, so. I'm gonna look at storage and XRP. I'm not gonna look at XRP. Never mind. Sakurai. I'm gonna do something free, man. We're gonna switch to Heikin-Ashi candles. We're gonna go to the weekly, or let's do like the 3-day. Why not? Then we're gonna go to XRP VTC. Okay. Okay, so this is February back here. This is where we currently, let's remove volume candles. I just want to make this as clear as possible. Oh, look, it goes back even farther. So, this year, this entire year, since the new year, so we're clear. From this candle to this candle, what is this? What is that colloquially known as? A downtrend, yes? And if you have a downtrend in a bear market, which way do you bet price is going to go? If you see a straight solid line, it's actually accelerating downward. Do you look at this right here and say, certainly, this is where everything is going to start going back up? No, because we don't have that kind of predictive power unless you're secretly holding billions in liquidity and decide to watch my live stream anyway. And since that's not very likely, don't bet against trend until trend is over, or if you have very significant mean reversion pivots. And I'll tell you now, we're not even close to mean reversion pivots on this chart. Okay? So, play it safe, guys. It's the best advice I can give. Like, if we want to just get I remember people keep on wanting to buy on these candles here, where they start seeing the run up and say, this is certainly where, oh no, this is certainly, and then they just keep on getting screwed, right? Upward movements and downtrends in bear markets are just short entries. That's how you got to think about it. When you see an upward move like this, you do not think trend is going to end. You think, wow, how nice of the market to provide me with a short entry. Okay. We're going to look at storage, and then we'll be done for the day. Day of the week, is it Friday? Okay. Christ, I can't believe people trade like this. Give me my candles back. Okay. Every CCI period is weighted to the downside. You have true net expansion that's continuing to expand. Your wave PM readings are really muddy. You have no significant retracement values. Or rather, you have a mean reversion value that was already completed. Now you're seeing continuous downward expansion. No, this is not a good chart at all. I'd stay away from this. Okay, folks, this has been fun. I'm going to finish my oats. Probably reheat them. Eat oats. Oats are good. Goodbye. Like this video. Subscribe to this video. I'll see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. MST.